Good morning.
I do my best work in my car. Thinking. Anyway, so I know most of you know that I am a coach, but a lot of you don't know why I'm a coach. And, you know, when you do these, you take these classes and they teach you what to say and how to do it and blah, blah, blah. I have so many stories. I'm like, oh, which story do I start with first? What do I share? And so I guess it would be why I chose to be a coach. So I don't think a lot of people know that I suffer from depression, and I took medication, and I attempted suicide. With Xanax. Love Xanax. And it was a downhill spiral from there. Actually, before that. It was worse before that. Actually, it was kind of a wake-up call once that actually happened. There's probably only maybe 2 or 3 people in my life that actually knew about it because they were there with me. Actually, after the fact, because I called them and let them know what I did. And police were called. It was a big deal. I was arrested. Yep, believe it or not, I was arrested. But anyway, I was on a search for love, clarity. At that point, I believe I was 24. And the guy that I was dating started dating someone else, lost my job, and I moved to Florida for a brief time, and I liked it. It was okay. I just couldn't find work, and I was too depressed to work, and so I came home to be with an ex-boyfriend. And that was another disaster. It was one disaster after another. But I grew up in a depression household. So my grandparents grew up in the depression, but then my parents suffered from depression. And of course, I picked up on that. If you know anything about being an empath or a sensitive, I picked up on my parents' emotions and assumed that they were mine. Which now I know at the age of 44 that isn't true, but it took me about 40 years to learn that. That a lot of our feelings and our emotions are not actually ours, especially if you're an empath. You could be just picking up other people's feelings, and if you don't know that there's a difference, it could really mess up your life for sure, because you're responding based on those emotions, and you're responding thinking they're yours, and then the other person looks at you like you're crazy because it's actually how they feel, but they don't know how to describe that because you literally just blew their mind, so they don't react properly because you're not reacting properly. It's amazing. Actually, it's very amazing, especially once you know how to separate that. So I had to literally learn how I felt before I went into a store, before I went into a room, whatever. Okay, how am I feeling? And you literally had to I had to acknowledge it. I'm okay. Am I okay? Yeah. And you go in, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, that's not mine. Whatever it is, don't know what it is, it's not mine. It was quite a journey to go through all of that and move back home and started going to meditation classes, researching personal development, read every book I could possibly get my hands on, and I went through Reiki. I was certified in Reiki, Karuna, and Usui. Some people don't even know that there's two. There is. I'm certified in both. Been an intuitive my entire life. That's something that was just innate in me, as is empathy. But I did learn with being a psychic, quote unquote, most people assume that a psychic is visionary, and that's actually, well, that's not necessarily true in my case. So a visionary is just one type of psychic, because I'm not actually visionary. I'm a feeler. I'm an emotional healer, which is why I'm an emotional healer, is because I'm a feeler. I can feel everything. I can feel when you're lying. I can feel when you love me. I can feel when, you're excited to see me. I can feel when you hate me. I can feel when you don't want me in your presence. I may not say something. I'm getting a little bit more vocal now than I ever was before, because my confidence level is building. And that's all with what I've been doing with my coaching and my healing. And everything's been a building block too, with Reiki, Reiki Usui, also quantum healing, quantum energetics healing. What else have I done? God, you name it. NLP. I'm relearning NLP right now. It's pretty amazing. And SRT is mainly what I use right now. So I use SRT, subconscious release technique, which is like a breathing technique. But it's not like yoga. It's not. It's more like tapping. If you ever did tapping, oh yeah, I do EFT tapping. I do that too. I've been doing that for years. And so SRT is a breathing technique. Instead of tapping, you would breathe. And so that's pretty cool and pretty powerful. But anyway, that's how I got here, because I suffered from depression and I needed help. And Wellbutrin and Xanax clearly were not working. So I needed holistic help. And so, like I said, I started reading books and just started getting connected with people and doing meditations, going into private meditations, having meditation sessions, and found a school, and I went from there. So anyway, that's my story. Love you. Bye.